Hi beauties, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be learning how to make the best and the most delicious tomato based stew. The good thing about having tomato stew available at home is that you can literally pair it with everything from rice to yam. You can add it as a side if you want to eat swallow. Pair it with your okra, pair it with your ewedu. It works with a lot of meals. So today you're going to be learning how to make the best non-tangy tomato stew. First, you want to cook your chicken, clean your chicken and cook it in spices. What I use for this spices mix is some garlic, ginger, rosemary, scotch bonnet pepper, onions. I added curry, thyme, garlic paste, ginger paste, including the raw paste. So I blended everything together and then I cooked my chicken in the broth. You want to cook your chicken in the broth, add some incisions in the chicken, cook it lightly just so the protein can absorb all that juice. You don't necessarily have to use chicken. You can use whatever protein you have available, but I'm using chicken today, so I'm going to be referencing chicken a lot. So after that, you want to go in and fry your protein. You can grill, you can cook it like, plain without frying or grilling, but I'm going to be frying mine today because I wanted to have a very dry texture, dry juicy texture, and that's what I'm going with. So you fry this until it is golden brown on both sides, allow it cook properly, and then take it off the heat. Please do not discard your oil because I've seen a lot of people discarding the oil they used to fry. That oil is packed with a lot of flavors. You do not want to waste it. So make sure you're using some of that oil for your stew. In another pot, go in with some of that oil, or you can use the same pot if it's big enough to take your stew base. But I'm using another pot for this one. I added some chopped onions, added some thyme and some rosemary. I just wanted the thyme and the rosemary to toast up a little bit in the oil so you can release all the flavor that it has. Afterwards, I went in with my tomato paste. I mixed my tomato paste with some of the chicken broth that I got from cooking the chicken, as you can see. So we're going to allow this tomato cook until it is dry. When the texture is looking dry, you want to go in with your tomato mixture. All right, if you're not toasting your tomato mix, like if you're not grilling it before using it for your stew, you can use the method I used for this one. I blended it and then I cooked it down until the water reduced, seasoned it lightly with some spices and some seasoning cubes just to give it that fresh taste. I didn't want it to be tangy at all, and if you use this method, it's going to really elevate the taste of your tomato stew. Go ahead and fry the stew until it is dry. Make sure you are frying it properly and you're checking it timely, because if you don't, it is going to burn. So make sure you're checking it while you're frying it, and when it is looking like it has fried properly, you can go in with your chicken broth. Okay, add some of the chicken broth you got from the protein that you cooked. You can add some, you can add all. I'm using everything for this one because I wanted it to be really pronounced in the stew, because I'm not going to be seasoning the stew, and I'm not going to be adding a lot more seasoning on the stew. So I needed that chicken broth to do most of the work. After cooking that down, and when it is looking dry, I proceeded to take my protein back into the stew. The stew is good at this point, all right, but I also need the protein to soak up all the juice in the stew, so I needed it to cook slowly in that tomato base. You want to allow this cook down for a couple of minutes on low heat. Please check your stew on intervals because you don't want it to burn, because if it burns, it's going to come out tasting burnt, if you know what I mean. So you want to be careful with that. I seasoned my stew lightly, just very lightly, because I just figured it didn't have the taste that I wanted it to have yet, so I had to season that a little bit lightly, and then cooked my stew down. And yeah, at this point the stew is ready, and you can really pair this with pretty much everything or anything, because stew works and it's a staple in our community as a Nigerian, so it works with every single thing. I paired mine with rice. Like I said, you can pair with anything. just look at the face of the stew, the texture, the look of it. It is just perfect and it tasted perfectly. If you want to recreate this method, try and recreate it. I promise you, if you try it, you're not going to go back to your old cooking method, because this method works every single time for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will be seeing you in my other videos. Bye.